Independent audit function. Ensuring an effective and independent audit function in AML CFT frameworks. A robust and independent audit function is crucial to a well-functioning governance structure and an effective anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism (AML CFT) framework. Financial institutions, FIs, are required to maintain an independent audit function that tests the effectiveness and adequacy of their internal policies, controls, and procedures related to combating money laundering, terrorism financing, and illegal organizations. This audit function must be appropriately staffed, organized, and equipped with the necessary competencies and experience to fulfill its responsibilities, considering the specific money laundering terrorism financing (MLTF) risks to which the FE is exposed, as well as the nature and size of the business. Key considerations for establishing an independent audit function. 1. Staffing and competencies. Internal resources. Most FIs are expected to have the internal capacity to meet audit requirements, ensuring that their audit teams are sufficiently skilled to handle the complexity and risks of their AML CFT obligations. External resources. For smaller FIs or those with limited resources, it may be necessary to obtain capabilities from qualified external sources. Even when outsourcing, FIs must maintain adequate internal capabilities to coordinate with and oversee external auditors. The external auditors must also be adequately regulated and supervised by relevant competent authorities. 2. Audit function integration and scope. Incorporation into audit plans. The periodic inspection and testing of all aspects of an FE's AML CFT compliance program should be a regular feature of the audit function. This includes the MLTF business risk assessment, AML CFT mitigation measures, and customer due diligence, CDD, policies, procedures, and controls. Coverage across all entities. FIs must ensure that the independent audit testing program includes all branches and subsidiaries, whether domestic or foreign, especially those where the FE holds a majority interest. The program should evaluate the effectiveness and adequacy of their internal AML CFT policies, controls, and procedures. Factors influencing the frequency and extent of audit testing. FIs should consider several factors when determining how often and to what extent their independent audit functions should test their AML CFT programs. These factors include, but are not limited to, NRA and topical risk assessments. The results of the National Risk Assessment, NRA, and any topical risk assessments conducted. Business characteristics. The nature, size, complexity, and geographic scope of the FE's business, as well as the results of MLTF risk assessments specific to the business. Risk profiles. The risk profiles associated with the products and services offered, as well as the markets and customer segments served. Regulatory supervision. The frequency of supervision and inspection by, and the nature of feedback from, supervisory authorities. This includes any administrative sanctions imposed that may indicate a need for enhanced AML CFT measures. Developments in MLTF risks. Both internal and external developments related to MLTF risks, as well as changes in the FE's management and operations. Scope of independent audits. The independent audit function should encompass a broad scope of activities to ensure comprehensive oversight of the FE's AML CFT framework. This includes, but is not limited to, AML CFT and CDD policies and procedures. Examining the adequacy of AML CFT and CDD policies, procedures, and processes, and ensuring they comply with regulatory requirements. Training programs. Assessing the adequacy of AML CFT training programs, including the comprehensiveness and accuracy of training materials, the training schedule, tracking attendance, and procedures for escalating issues related to non-attendance. Outsourced compliance functions. Reviewing all aspects of AML CFT compliance functions that have been outsourced, including evaluating the qualifications of the personnel, the contractual agreements, and the performance and reputation of the third-party service providers. Case management and suspicious transaction reporting, STR, systems. Evaluating the effectiveness of case management and STR systems, including the processes for researching and referring unusual transactions. Reviewing the policies, procedures, and processes for referring unusual or suspicious activity from all business lines to the personnel responsible for investigating such activities.